Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm Washington Gun Law President William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, for those of you who routinely geek out at this channel, number one, thank you very much. And number two, you are well aware that almost always our videos will involve some segment of the American population either getting punched in the mouth or kicked in the shins by local government. Once in a while, though, along comes a story that is so awesomely positive, so pro-Second Amendment, that we need to do a video for two reasons. Number one, it kind of mixes up the mojo around here. We get to do something positive. And number two, the person candidly deserves a big old attaboy. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing today, is handing out a big old Washington Gun Law attaboy. So today, let's spend a few minutes and let's talk about America's most pro-Second Amendment mayor. Okay, America, and especially New Jersey, because I want you to know that this story takes place deep, deep behind enemy lines. Now, before we get down the road we're going down, the credit to this story is actually an article I found over at news2a.com. And if you guys are not checking out news2a.com, you should. They got some fantastic material on a daily basis, really keeps you informed about what's going on with your Second Amendment rights. I want you to meet Englishtown Mayor Daniel Francisco, who all of you will be a huge, huge fan of after you are done watching this video, because the mayor, newly instilled mayor, realizes that, you know, there is a lot of money that the city is collecting on those people who have the audacity to want to try to go and get a concealed carry permit. And in Mayor Francisco, and apparently the rest of the city council's view, that money is not needed by the city, which would again then make Englishtown perhaps one of the most unique cities ever in the history of America. And so what Mayor Francisco and his city council have agreed to do is to refund that money. Okay, New Jersey, like many other states, after the Bruen ruling came down and they couldn't have their May issue regime anymore, completely crapped its pants and thought to themselves, how can we make it more difficult for people to get concealed carry licenses? And one of the many ways that they chose to do that was by dramatically increasing the cost. Prior to the Bruen decision, the cost of obtaining a concealed carry license in the state of New Jersey averaged around $20. Post-Bruen, that was amended by statute and now exceeds $200 usually. But of that money that's collected by the municipalities, $150, so of an average $200 concealed carry license application, a municipality is going to make $150 on that, and that is mandated by state law. However, on June 11th, the Englishtown Council voted on resolution number 2025-101, which authorizes the refund of that $150 to every single resident of that borough who has paid that application fee, translation, who has been extorted out of money to exercise a constitutional right. Now, if you think, wow, I'm already a fanboy of Mayor Francisco, wait until you see some of the quotes from, again, the article down there in news2a.com, because the mayor was quoted as saying, Englishtown is sending a message across the entire state that even though the New Jersey legislature doesn't respect our residents, we do. I'm proud to be the bellwether of the liberty movement and thankful to my council for their integrity to get this measure passed. I've been a plaintiff in my own federal cases where I've experienced firsthand the abuses of the state. It is my job as a steward of my residents to protect them in any way possible from those same abuses. I am an unapologetic defender of natural rights, and New Jersey needs hundreds of other municipalities taking the same principled stance for their own residents. I am calling on every mayor to shepherd their governing bodies to emulate this groundbreaking resolution passed by Englishtown. Now, this is important. The refunds are only going to apply, because I'm sure the city's already spent the money elsewhere, to anybody who has paid this fee January 1st of this year moving forward. But presumably it also means that anybody who has to pay that $200 today and moving forward, because the state mandates it, you're still going to be getting a $150 check back from Englishtown, because they have chosen, in furtherance of your otherwise inalienable rights, not to collect that fee and not to serve as a financial barrier to your exercise of the inalienable right of self-preservation. Now, some of you may recall the name. He had mentioned in his previous statement that he himself was a plaintiff. He was in a Firearms Policy Coalition-backed lawsuit known as Francisco v. Cook. Was also a co-plaintiff in the case of Strzok v. Platkin. But America, I think there is a really, really valuable lesson that can be learned no matter what type of jurisdiction you're in. So whether you're trying to win back Second Amendment rights that have been taken from you, or you're just trying to preserve the status quo, is that oftentimes we are concerned that our rights will be taken from us from the top down, that it will come from the federal government or some higher form of government down upon us. But no, actually, if you go around and you take a look at those people who are living in civilian disarmament states, they will tell you that their rights were taken from the bottom up. It was taken by local and state government. And one of the absolute best ways, in fact, one of the most sure ways to preserve our inalienable rights is to go out and feverishly work to put staunch Second Amendment supporters in all positions of local politics. I'm talking about mayors, city managers, city councils, county executives, you name it, any form of local government, all the way up to your state House of Representatives and state Senate. You want to preserve your Second Amendment rights. The only way to do that is to build the groundwork from the bottom up, local government on up. This is a classic example of how, despite the fact that everyone in Englishtown still lives in a state that absolutely hates lawful and responsible gun owners, you have local government that's going to be willing to fight to preserve those inalienable rights. And that, America, is yet another way that we win this war. Okay, listen. Kudos, big ol' attaboy to you, Mayor Francisco. Congratulations. Hey, if you want to come on the channel and talk about it, please reach out to us. We would love to do that. We're going to go ahead and link up the story from news2a.com so you guys can geek out on it for yourself. Remember, check them out. If you got any questions about this or anything else related to what's left of our Second Amendment rights, you guys should know how to get a hold of Washington gun law by now, but if you don't, that's okay. That information down there in the description box. If you got an idea for a video we should be doing around here, cool. Tell us all about it by clicking on that link and letting us know. If you want to subscribe to the monthly newsletter, that information is down there in the description box. And then finally, and most importantly, let's everyone remember that part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner, like we talk about all the time here, is to know what the law is in every situation and how it applies to you in any instance that you may find yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay safe.